Assalamu alaikum, singles and soulmates. So we're back for another edition of 90 Day Fiance, the Muslim couples, specifically Bilal and Shaeeda. I know it took me a minute, but I wanted to jump back to this here prank. The prank heard all over the world, and get some of your thoughts on it. But first of all, let's check out what had happened. He is so wrong for this.
Shaeeda's always been saying that she'll be willing to live under a tent long as it was next to me. Let's see if that's really the case.
Of course it's not gonna be the case, because I actually, real talk, I remember telling my husband literally like that exact same line. So it must be something about the love, euphoria, the butterflies that makes you say stuff like that, because once you get down to it, it's not true. My husband constantly complains about how I like pick the most expensive places to live in at all times. So yeah, the tent in a box with you, yeah, it ain't gonna work. And I think that's what we found in this case, but don't let me spoil it. Let's continue.
Wow, home sweet home, right?
Wrong. He even put the pictures of them up there. He was really trying to sell this prank, which I'm kind of like, you know, you and a ma'am. A prank is one thing, but a flat out lie is another, because he gonna be like, oh, we're going to see my mama tomorrow. I don't know if you could finger cross on that one and just say it Bismillah or none of that. I don't know. It's a little suspect. It's a little questionable. It's a little on the edge, bruh. It's a little on the edge. But I digress. He even threw in the whole, do you like the houses? Like, he's really, like, he's messing with her. He knows she ain't gonna like this property. Like, he wrong. He kind of wrong for that. I get a joke, but you kind of wrong. A joke at somebody else's expense. And this lady done been on this plane for all these hours, come to see you. Yeah, I'd be a little hot.
We are home.
Look at her face. Her face when they first pull up says everything you need to know. Like, we ain't even gotta go in the house. Like, he knew that would be her face. Like, that's why you were taking her to the house that hasn't been built in 15 years.
And if I did live here, would you still be with me?
Absolutely not. Yeah, we would not be with you if you lived there. Although there was an article I read that the ex-wife was like, we really did live in that house and it wasn't no joke then. So what's the deal here? What you trying to say?
Oh, babe. A home from the 1900s. Must be an antique.
She is so funny with her, like, she's like really like ribbing on. She's like, okay, you got jokes. I got jokes too. Your home look like it's from the 1900s. You got an antique house. Now, that's one thing I'll say. You didn't went and got you an island woman, okay? There are a lot of American women over here, but hey, look, to each his own, right? But she does come with a little bit more spice, literally and figuratively. So he got him one. Let's see how it go.
So this is obviously living room. This is where we watch TV at and stuff like that. Pray.
Babe, that's spirit.
Yeah, I gotta get that done.
It looks like it could collapse on us any moment now.
No.
This is the home, babe.
This is home.
This is not real. This place is dilapidated. This place is not the place I want to be at.
Kitchen. It's where I make my famous recipes to please.
Okay, I got the point.
And we have our bedroom. This is where the magic happens. Right in here.
Okay. Yeah.
See, he done messed up his own magic on that one. Because can you imagine the coming together after 2 years? Like, that could be a really, really nice honeymoon type night. Real talk. But he done just messed it on up, because he up here talking about playing pranks and jokes. Okay, you got jokes? I bet she was like, oh, I got jokes too. Don't even bother closing that door, because there ain't nothing going down here tonight.
It was hoping my new home to be spacious, modern, contemporary type of home. I'm getting the complete opposite to that. Back at home, I asked Bilal for a picture of his house. He said no. I asked him to see his vehicle. He said no. He's been so secretive. And I'm thinking, what else is he hiding from me? It's a lot to take in right now.
What's that?
It's a lot.
You good?
I was not expecting this.
Expecting this right here?
Yeah. Is there
Easy
any
fix.
rocks in the kitchen?
Do I look like a person who has...
Well, the ceiling is falling. Right now, I don't even know who are you because you should have been a panel van.
That's
I
cool.
am not comfortable moving to a first world country like United States and having to live like if I'm in the 1900s. You can do better. We can do better.
When did you read in the Quran where it says you need to provide a mansion?
I didn't ask for a mansion.
Okay, then. That's the point I'm making.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things that need to be fixed, yes, right?
A lot of
However-
things that needs to be fixed.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed with your attitude right now, too.
Bilal does not like my reaction. I could tell by his eyes. He doesn't like how uncomfortable I am. But at the same time, he's lecturing me as if I'm a child. This is not the person I fell in love with. This house does not represent who you are. Nothing about this house says you.
Are you appreciative of what you have? Because you could be the person on the corner. You know, I could be a person on the corner.
Okay, babe, listen, I had a very long flight. I am tired. I don't expect this from you right now.
You don't expect what? From me?
You're justifying everything.
Honestly, I'm a little hurt. She does not know that this is my family home. Like, if she came across and say, hey, like, the home, I understand it's a nice, small house, it's comfortable, etc., but maybe we can grow and get a bigger something. Like, that's okay with me. But a lot of what she said was actually more hurtful in relation to, like, I thought that, like, you would have been better than what you are right now. Obviously, I know there's things that can be fixed up, things can be improved, etc., you know. But are you the type to, like, you want to roll up your sleeves and help out, or are you just going to, like, complain and be like, oh, I'm not, you know?
I will do both.
I don't need no complaining.
He is really not only selling this, he already said the house hasn't been lived in 15 years. He obviously is not living there. He talks about having OCD. He likes things a certain way. For him to be like, what are you talking about? What weren't you expecting? No, she is not good. Who would be? You wouldn't even be good. Like you said with the OCD situation. Don't be playing with us, brother. See, look, I be feeling like I'm every woman. I felt this in my soul.
I thought this was going to be an absolutely amazing day. It's like, you complain the whole time here about my car, and you complain the whole time.
Oh, God, babe.
It's all right, though.
Stop the pity party.
No,
Come
it's not a
on.
pity party. I thought
I told
that I
you
had
I-
somebody who appreciated things.
I appreciate it, but we can do better.
That's not being appreciative. You need to look up the word, what it means.
Okay.
But it's all good.
I'm tired.
You want something to eat?
Yeah, something that's from a clean bowl, yeah.
Yeah, well, I can order something. I know you don't want to eat in my
You have
room.
enough money for that? I'll go and freshen up. In the meantime, you order some food.
I will do that. The first night with Shaeeda is not going as expected. Yeah, I picked her up in a dirty van and we're staying in a childhood home. But no one has lived in the house for like 15 years. So there's things that need to be done to it. You know, it needs to be painted. There's some things kind of falling from the ceiling here and there. But the way she's carrying on, it's kind of offensive.
So she went for the juggler though. Like she ain't just some little like, oh, like they say, poor island girl that just got off the plane. She went for the juggler on some of those. You got to hand to her sister. She got the fight spirit. She just said, are there any rats in the kitchen? And do you have enough money to pay for food that you about to order me because you seem like you struggling. Then he had the nerve to ask if he looks like a person who has rats in his house or whatever. And no offense to like the family home and stuff like that, but he said it hasn't been lived in for 15 years. So in a case like that, that is potentially when rats and stuff can, like if nobody's around to stop and their holes in the crevices and stuff like he showed us, you know, in the pictures, there could technically be rats there. And that's what she's trying to say is like, it looks, she used the word dilapidated. And yeah, technically dilapidated buildings and stuff is where, you know, rodents and stuff like to inhabit. Nothing about the family home, but just the condition of the home, it can make a little, you know, things suspect. So she went for the juggler with that one, but he was acting surprised. Like, do I look like a person who, that's, yeah, kind of what she's trying to say is that you coming off as somebody who don't take care of their stuff, even though you supposedly flip homes, which I didn't even know. I know he did real estate, but flipping homes, like, yeah, I did see, you know, Black Twitter and stuff be talking about like, why don't you fix up your own family home? Like, that don't even make sense. Are you only in it for the money? Like, because that would be your own house, like you ain't putting into it. I don't know. I don't understand it. Maybe we'll get to that in the reunion or something, but let's just see how it goes.
I expected Shaeeda to be surprised, you know, but after 2 years, I thought tonight would just settle in and finally be happy that we're finally together. And tomorrow, take her to the real house.
When Bilal came to Trinidad, he seemed like a pretty much put together type of guy. You know, he had Louis Vuitton luggage. He dressed really nice, dapper. So I was expecting the home to kind of suit how he looks. You should have let me in on this from day one. You should have let me know, you know, so I would have been able to know how to move when I come here. But right now, I feel completely deceived. When your food finish hotting, we'll have a conversation because I do not want you in your feelings about everything that happened earlier on.
I'm not in my feelings.
Yes, you are in your feelings.
I mean, you said what you said.
I don't know. It looks like you're struggling, and I'm worried about that. I'm worried for us. I know you're feeling that I'm not appreciating you, how I criticize your home. You have to understand that I give up my family. I give up, like, my life in Trinidad to come all the way here to be with you. Starting from scratch. Like, this is starting from scratch. You have to understand from my point of view, my perspective, it's a lot for me to deal with.
Right.
If I'm going to live here for 90 days, it's going to be a struggle, but I'm willing to do it. I still love Bilal, but I am worried that he's not being real. I think he's a little delusional with carrying this image and living in the Caribbean. We call it a 2x4 home. And we might have to sell a couple of those suits, and I'm here to work with him, and so we have a lot of work to do before we could even cross the bridge of getting married. I just don't go with the image that you carry.
Yeah.
And you cannot fight me down for being shocked.
So if a person like doesn't like live in like a
No, babe.
3-story house or something.
No, babe, that's still kind of wrong. I don't want to say this. I don't want to offend you, but I feel as if I was being deceived all along.
Deceived how?
Deceived when I come to your country and I see that you're not living up to the image that you carry.
Well, you keep saying an image. What
image
is the
that
image?
You carry, babe. You came to Trinidad with your Louis Vuitton baggage, wearing expensive watches and belts. And now to come in, in this little humble abode, it's not, how do you say it? It doesn't suit you.
It's funny because she keeps saying, you're not who I thought you were, etc. But it wasn't like I portrayed anything differently, you know, just because a person could wear a nice suit, well, doesn't necessarily mean that you live in the best house. So I don't know what she was actually expecting, but it definitely sounds like she was not expecting this.
First of all, you knew that your family home was in a certain condition, which is why you wanted to use that as your location. So don't even be getting hurt and offended. And first of all, you said you expected her to say this is a nice small home. Bruh, it may be nice in that it's a small, quaint house that you all lived in with full of memories, But the nice part, when you haven't lived or taken care of a place for several years, kind of starts to fall out the window. So she does use the word like delusional at some point in this. You know, like, don't be delusional. That'll be our motto, okay? That'll be our deal. Don't be delusional.
I definitely wouldn't want to marry somebody who just wants me for my money. I'd rather, for 100% for sure, want to marry somebody who wants me for what I am. So, if the wedding was tomorrow, I don't know what I'll do. I'll be praying all night, trying to figure that out.
Now, alhamdulillah, that's great that he said if the wedding was tomorrow, he'd be praying all night. For future reference, I hope he spent praying all night before he like went over there and married that sister and they didn't really know each other like that. Because I think that the prayers and the turning to God for these big decisions, like marrying somebody is a life decision, right? Even if we can't get divorced, we know it's not preferred, right? So yeah, so pray a lot on the front end and all the way through. And I think you'll be okay, and I think they'll be okay too. And I thank them for letting us in on their life, because like I said, I think these relationships are great, really blueprint for all of our relationships and great kind of learning tools. And inshallah, I'll be continuing with that on my show too. So stay tuned to the channel and me and all this stuff that's popping. Salam, singles.